We like to welcome y'all to the Kingz Chatter. This is episode 6. Obviously, as y'all probably just heard, I had to ask because it's been a minute, man. We've been out of the studio for some time, you know what I mean? But we back now. So, yeah, welcome to, episode 6. We're going to actually do this on live, too, because today is the actual, special day. We got my man Aaron. His daughter's birthday's today, so we need y'all to.
Happy birthday, baby.
We need
Turn
y'all to
21.
help us get up out of here at a certain time. So we're gonna cut this thing short. And obviously we got our man, our guest today, Mr. Wallace. But obviously our other brother Thomas ain't here. Unfortunately he can't be with us today. So he gonna be with us through the live, hopefully. So man, we got you here, bro. We gonna hold you down. So we like to start it off with basically tapping in, bro. And I just want to go to you first, man, since you're our guest. Put you in the hot seat, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How y'all
Yeah, tell us a little about yourself, man.
doing?
Represent your culture. I see you all swagged out, man.
Oh yeah,
Hey, that's clean, too. That's a clean shirt.
So, my name's Wallace. I own the barbershop, the culture shop. Uh, been there since the pandemic hit. Around 2020 we started.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah. So
And everybody,
yeah.
going out, man, you elevating. That's phenomenal.
Yeah. So we fortunately fought through it and still here 4 years in. Started out with Aaron over at KJ's.
I'm not stop going to KJ's, go to culture, bro. They got you set a dress.
I'll say that.
Bro, no.
Come pick up some gear and
Yeah.
cut by Aaron and get your
They
gear
come with
from
the
us.
C2, bro. That's dope.
But yeah, but seriously, like I started out at KJ's and I had just lost my job
Right.
and I had twins at the time and I was on leave and they laid off all the managers. So at that point, I was just like, I'm not gonna let nobody else, have that much power over me, how much money I can make, my insurance and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely dove right into cutting hair, and luckily, Joe Cannon and Brownie Blends over there at KJ's gave me a spot. I couldn't even cut that good. All I knew how to do was one haircut,
Hey,
one style.
what was that
Barely
like?
could line up hair.
Okay.
So I pretty much just learned going in.
Fly.
Yeah, on the
Right.
fly, just going in.
Right.
I used to cut hair when I was younger,
Yeah.
but not at all professionally with real clippers.
But the
and that
fact that
kind
you
of
can
thing.
go in there with that kind of confidence, bro, it's like kind of dope too. You know what I mean? Because
Oh yeah,
that's confidence, man.
that pressure get to you. You filling out them job applications. You like, I don't want to go
So
to
was you
another
like-
interview.
Like ridiculed, when you went in and like they talk, you know how some people go in there talking shit. Like I go into KJS right now, bro, and there's one specific person that I know is gonna give. Bro.
No, I wouldn't. It wasn't like that when I came in.
Okay.
It was pretty smooth. Like I tell people all the time, if I wouldn't have started at KJ's,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have been a barber
Okay.
because we started out. There's about 20 barbers in there.
Right.
Everybody got
More,
skills.
right.
Everybody got clientele. I'm the one in there. I didn't touch a head for 6 months. I'm just in there
Right.
sweeping
Right.
and watching. So after a while, just watching everybody asking what clippers they using, I just took that, had my little this is KJ's. I'm behind that wall right there. That's where I started, back there by the bathroom.
Yeah. The
So
one I
I
didn't
was-
know nothing was back there.
So I just started busting down heads and getting my clientele up. And like I said, yeah, everybody was real receptive.
Right.
Not, man, you gonna take my skill, you know what I mean? You trying to
Take
take
my
my
spot,
clients,
right,
or you
yeah.
trying to take high cut.
Yeah.
Wasn't none of that in there. So definitely it was a good start to a career that I still have now. That
Okay.
was what 10, 11 years ago.
Damn. Been
That's-
that long too.
Yeah.
Man, that's phenomenal, brother. First of all, man, I just want to give it up to you for a little second, man. There ain't nobody gonna do it, bro. Because
appreciate it.
I mean, like at the same time, bro, pandemic, a lot of businesses went out of man. They
Yeah.
left, bro. Favorite restaurants. A lot of
Right.
people got discouraged. A lot of people thought, man, it was end time, everything. And for somebody, especially for a black man to sit there and be like, you know what, I'm about to elevate in a time where this is not it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do for me and mine.
Right.
Bro, I gotta give you kudos, bro.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah,
For real.
It was pretty tough. I mean, we all went through it being
Yeah.
entrepreneurs and not being able to go make money. They saying, "Oh, just stay home. We're gonna give you a
But it's
little
something
bit of
too
money."
that's, you call your own.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that take more than faith, bro. You blessed.
Yeah,
So,
Shout out
so
Sean too. Sean and Bumpy and all of them too. They all went over there and helped out too. They really did that thing with going over there.
so if you can do like one cut, can't get a job at your shop, you know? Because what if I can just like do like a lineup on like mustaches?
Hey,
Like, bro.
hey, for real.
Like
He
I
like-
start off
he
with
like
some
that.
hair.
Gotta start somewhere.
So your shop here in the Tracy, or you know what I mean? Like, let them know, man.
Hey, 100%. Hey, that's how everybody start out. The
Right.
ones that's rookies, they can't pretty much do nothing. They've never even held clippers to know the
Right.
feeling of the clippers. So that's the first part to even know. You know, they see this barber with a bunch of tools and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna buy all of those. They don't even know how to line up a mustache
Right.
or even do a bald head. You know, it's a
Right.
technique to cutting a bald head. It might look like, man, you
Shout
got a
out
bald
Ted.
head. Shout out who?
Ted.
Ted.
Remember when he?
Oh, Ted slice somebody up.
That's cool,
you
man.
know?
So where's the location again?
Right here in Tracy, off West Grant Line and Tracy Boulevard.
Okay.
651 West Grant Line.
So, man, if y'all like me, you know, going somewhere, relocating, y'all here in Tracy, man. You know, you got KJ's, you got the culture. You know, it's a y'all can go places to get your haircut, man. And some cool brothers, man. Sometimes you go up in these places and you don't know people mugging you, whatnot. Nah, not here. Especially at these places, man. You meet some cool people, man. You know, you got my boy Wallace here. You got Aaron here. You know, Thomas, we see you. People make you feel at home. So, you know, I appreciate you, man. I definitely appreciate you being here, man. So
I
thank you.
appreciate y'all having me,
Thank you.
man. Aaron was telling me about the podcast, and when he told me the name of it, he said the Kingz Chatter. I was like, ooh,
Yes.
that's nice. I don't
Yeah,
know
man.
Which one of y'all thought of that?
So,
Okay.
you know, we kings, man. You
Yeah.
know, I just look at anybody who's been through something, has something breathing, anything that you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Rather you uphold yourself to a standard.
All right.
If you anything below that, man, people will take advantage of you. So you start off in the morning, man, the way you rise and the way you lay down, you're a king. But then at the same time, we talk a lot.
I know I do.
So it can't be rants, man. You know, we chatter.
Yeah.
So it's just the fact that how me and my brothers, you know, we vibe. We was like, man, we need to make this into something, you know.
Yeah.
So especially this dude, because he keep me going. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Him and Thomas, man, they it's like two peas in the pod, but different spectrums.
Right. I mean, I've known, you know, this is my brother-in-law, so I've known him since I was, 15?
Yeah.
Damn.
So
That's-
we've been talking ever since.
Right.
So
we
he
don't run out
always
of
been
stuff.
cool, calm, and collected like this. Cause bro,
Who? Aaron?
yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah.
got this facade, bro. Like he come across like he cool, but I know he done cut some people in his lifetime.
The 7 years in prison calmed him down. He learned how to braid in there and everything. Ever since then, you came out, you been
So
cool.
the question I got for you, brothers, was they sitting down or were they standing up?
For the record, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You got
to
right, man.
Right.
So the
You
payoff
here
was
today.
good. I'm glad you stopped smoking Newports, bro. And
Right.
You do what you got to do. While
roll
you in
them up
there,
in your
man.
sleeve
You
and-
feel me?
There you
How
go.
you doing, bro?
Doing all right, bro. Another day right now, but today is a special one. Today, my baby birthday. We are officially off the books as far as kids go. I don't have no more kids.
Empty
Yeah.
nested.
Empty nesters, man. I sent her a policy notice this morning. Like it was nice. It was nice having you as a client, but
It's time to go.
Yeah, it's time. You
Okay.
terminated your contract. Your time is up.
So you changing my doors?
No, I just want all my shit back. All the stuff that I put into it, I want it. I want it all back. I want it paid for. The other one tried to extend her contract. You know, so
Oh, it's
Hey.
extended already.
Yeah.
She pulling a LeBron James.
Hey, you know what? They did have something out there, man. It said, you know, I guess for adults, you know, trying to kick their kids out at a certain age, you
That
know,
shit is hard now.
we shouldn't do that
Right,
because apparently, you know, it helps them further in the long run.
right.
But what about them people who don't want to do nothing?
That's the thing. You have to have a goal or something that you're doing. You're not going to sit around for free. That's not.
Bro, your
like,
daughter a boss. I don't think that's her problem either. So I ain't gonna lie to you.
Both
bro.
of them, they're both out there actively doing shit, and that's
Right.
I don't care what you do beyond that. Like you can stay as long as you want when you're
Right,
doing stuff like
right,
that. You know what I
right.
mean? I will support you full force. Now you one day have to get out the nest, though. You know what I mean? And that's inevitable. But for the most part, like as long as you're being productive, as long as you're trying to strive to be better, you got a place to stay.
Right.
All right. Those are my babies. They gonna be my babies until I go.
Yeah, he joking around a lot, but they're very productive, very well mannered.
I ain't even get to taste the food yet, and the fact that we sitting there
y'all
chilling.
6 episodes in, and you ain't ate no food.
Man, talk about I don't want to be disrespectful, but it's like I can get high blood pressure one time, Well, we had something to do that day, but I think it was like a holiday or something like that. She was coming by the shop on KJ's, so I went in there, kicked it with him for a minute, and found out she was coming through, and I was like, man, he was telling me about her, and it never dawned on me, man, how old is she? And he said, she's 20, man. I'm like, and she got her own, bro. You can't tell me people out here ain't doing nothing.
Right.
It's like, yeah, man, school. I got some other goals. You know what I mean? And the fact that you ain't got to go to school for that.
Right.
And that's that. We gonna get to that in a minute too, because I got some problems with school, bro.
Oh.
I'm
full of school,
man.
But go ahead.
but yeah, man. I feel like everybody doing great, man. I don't want to sit here and sob it up with my little Ichiban stories, bro. But I'm blessed, you know what I mean? I mean, out of all the negativity that's going on and things like that, like, me getting able to see my youngest daughters and things like that, man, it's been a blessing to see for my kids, kicking it and things like that, you know what I mean? Because it's a blended home, you know what I mean? So through my situation, things like that, man, I still wish for the best. And the fact that you got all these people, or I don't say all these people, certain people who like to come around and they try to, throw your name in the dirt, kick you while you down, because the humble don't speak. I'm learning that myself, and then at the same time, I get to sit here and see smiles outside of anger.
Right.
That right there, dude, it brightens up my day. And then I ain't gonna talk about my other blessing I got going on. It's we good.
You're not gonna talk about it?
Not right now.
That's a big fucking movie. You're not talking about it.
It is, because at the same time,
congratulations, all I'm gonna say. We're gonna say it like that.
Okay.
I'm like, I feel like, you
episode
can't.
7 or something.
Man, we gonna probably have to hold that one until Thomas here. You know what I mean?
Shout out Brittany too. How you doing?
Because bro, it's like, moves are being made.
Yeah,
and how where I'm from, how I do, when people talk too fast, bad things happen. And I just want to keep it close knit with family, friends and things like that, bro. But yeah, it's gonna be a great year.
Right.
It's gonna be a great year, man. But let's kick it off, man. This is what we came here for, brother. So I got this notion, this bird in the sky, this little note somebody told me about this Instagram page. And can you run that name across me one more time, please?
It's thought-provoker 617.
What made you get that name first off?
Like you guys doing right now. I always wanted to get a podcast or like one of them one-on-one, you and the camera, kind of talk about things that's going on. But I never got around to doing it. And I got all this stuff in my brain that I'm just trying to get out instead of flooding it on my regular personal page and people like, man, this dude crazy. I just started up another page and it's for whoever is interested in things like that. You know what I mean?
It's definitely getting shadow banned though too.
Yeah. Well, if you use certain words and certain hashtags, they're gonna shadow ban it where it gets to less people. So you gotta try and, especially Instagram.
Before, bro.
Yeah, it's
shadow ban.
Yeah.
It's like a little way that companies, like especially major companies, that hear keywords that you say, then they will
drop the algorithms.
Right.
Okay. Exactly.
Right.
Okay.
So you won't get shown to even your own friends. Like a lot of times, people in your own circle,
think you might scare somebody.
No, they just don't want certain things pushed or certain people.
Or even self promotion. Like it's a big. I ain't gonna say his name, but he got a big platform. Right. He get millions of views, and then when he posts, hey, hit me up if you want promotion. I'll promote you on my page.
Right.
He get like 30 views, 40 views. So he like tripping out. He calling them, asking what's going on, and they say, oh, you're using the wrong language and blah, blah, blah. But when he redo it, reset it, get a new account, same thing. So we're learning that the algorithm that they're dropping, like, show that to less people. Right. If I'm getting 1 million, 100,000, 400,000, then I get 40 views when I say, hey, let's make some money together. Yeah. and that's a shadow ban.
I'm learning that
showed the less
algorithms
people.
is real, dude.
This shit is for real. Yeah.
At first,
So-
I thought it was just people.
So I don't suggest, if you're gonna ask me about that page, when you post this podcast, it might be slightly shadow banned.
Hey, I don't care about none of that. You know, like I told him, man, when we first started this, dude, you know, this is first and foremost, this is for us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this is a place where, you know, this man can get out the house, I can get out the house, Thomas can get out the house, you know, we just doing it and just, you know, talking a little bit.
Yeah.
But see, at the same time, this is our space, bro.
Yeah.
So whatever you want to say, man, shadow band, shadow ninja, whatever you want to do.
Appreciate it.
Man, it's
No,
like, you know,
me and Aaron talk about this stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Even all my brothers, we always talk about this. It's just like this without the cameras.
So without getting into the stuff, you know what I mean? Basically, if you want to sit there, bro, and come up with your own podcast, things like that, bro, whatever you got going on in your mind, I'm going to tell you how somebody told me, bro, do it. Life is too short, bro.
Right.
Like, I'll just sit, because I got shit in my mind all the time, bro.
Mhm.
And just sitting here dwelling on it, you're going to eventually start talking to the wall.
Right.
Or eventually going to think you crazy.
Right.
Or you don't want to come across people who's not like-minded, and they be like, the hell you talking about, man?
Right.
Man, not now. There you go. So I'm going to sit here and say I'm not with the word conspiracy. You know what I mean? I really think that's an offensive term. You know what I mean? Because some people put negative notions to it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a bunch of other words, but we ain't going to go there because that might get me shadow banned. But conspiracies is to me, is like I said, man, what's the word that you would like to use for thought-provoking ideas or things that you think is going on? Because I feel like, you know, people tie it to the words like scams and shit like that, and I don't think that's how it should go.
Yeah. I get it, and that's why I didn't go with anything with conspiracy in the name, because of the negative thought process
Right.
when it comes to that. But in reality, if you look at the definition of conspiracy, it's just two or more people coming together to do something. So just on the definition alone,
Conspiring,
it's just you just conspire. Hey, let's do this. If me and him conspired, that's a
Right.
he's stopping me from doing something.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
you know, so I don't mind the word conspiracy. I know how bad it.
I like
When
peer
you
pressure.
put peer pressure.
Go ahead.
But when you put theory on the
Yeah.
end of it, that started back in the day when JFK got killed. So it was all these conspiracies going around like, oh, it was inside job, it was this, it was that, it's this. So they come up with this propaganda to get on the news and came up with the phrase conspiracy theory.
Right.
So now when you hear the word, the theory, it makes you say, oh, the tinfoil guy, or he's crazy, put him in a nut house and that kind of thing.
It went to poetry with me, kind of like a backstory with that word.
Mm-hmm.
So I did try to do poetry back in the day, and the name was Black Theory. So my boys be trying to talk shit to me when they see me trying to be, I guess, the Drake, or trying to be sweet and shit. They be like, "Oh, that's that theory shit he doing." So when you said it, bro, it made me, my feet started to tingle a little bit. like, bro, you trying to make me soft, bro? But so man, going into this thought provoking, you know, ideas and whatnot, man. What's your top 5? You know, and you can break them down, bro. I really want you to like break it down.
Just things that people should know, or that you think people are not paying attention to the most right now.
You ain't got to do shadow banning, but try not to offend nobody.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'll work around the offensive ones.
But if it's gonna stop you from being real, bro,
no,
hold back.
never. It's so many of them.
Yeah.
I could choose.
you ain't got to do it in any order.
Okay. Let's see. I guess people don't understand that the way this world is ran is literally not just by the president. You know, you think he's in charge of everything. Clearly, what we see today with
Correct.
who's in office now,
Yeah.
right?
They need somebody to point out.
Exactly.
Right.
So it all started like back in the day. It's called maritime law.
Okay.
So it's these societies that come together and say, these are the laws we're going to abide by on land, which
Correct.
is pretty much the law of the sea is now a law of the land,
Okay.
right? So I don't know. You want to get into this right now? Okay.
Explain
All right.
That's why
I'm learning. Yeah, that's why we're here.
So
Ain't no filter. Go ahead, bro.
so for example, like all ships are female, right? They're all considered female because they carry cargo.
Correct.
And you know, they're on the water. They go down the canal and they dock at the port.
Okay.
And when they're in that port, it's called their berth, and it's a manifest because it manifested. It wasn't there last night. Now it's there today. Right?
Okay.
So when all this product comes off the boat, it has certificates, right? It tell you, let's say if it's 1,000 cars on there, it's gonna say this how many blue ones, how many red ones, how much they weigh,
Okay.
what brand they are, TV, if it's broken, certificate, the doc signs off on it, right? So when a woman is pregnant, the baby comes down her birth canal, right? Just like the boat. Her water breaks. So now when you're born, the dock, just like the dock of the boat, signs off on these birth certificates, right? So this is where we sell our soul. When we take the baby, we put the little ink on the bottom of their feet.
Right.
We pretty much sold our soul over to them.
Wow.
So that's why we have Social Security numbers now. Back in the day, they didn't have Social Security numbers. When they started having Social Security numbers, they want to keep track on each individual in this world. So this is why we have dealerships, friendship, leadership. It's all about the water.
Right.
That's why when you go to a dealership, everything is on sale, like a selling boat.
Okay.
So all these words, people don't understand. Like I'm big on etymology, so I look up the meaning of these words.
Yeah.
So like you find money, if you want some money, you go to the bank.
Correct.
So where do you find and money is called what? Currency. So if you go to a river bank, you'll find the current.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so all of these things that's coming from water is related to real life things now.
Ooh.
So all of these words that when people say words or spells is for real. Now, you can call it a conspiracy theory, or you can call it a conspiracy, which these people came together. And when you say these words and you don't know what they used to mean back in the day, like when you go to court,
Right.
I don't want to ramble, but when you go to court, like
Bro, that's what the chatter is
judge,
for, brother.
the judge is on the bench, right? And bench in Latin means bank.
Okay.
So the judge is simply the referee, right? That's why they call it court.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
But go ahead, bro.
Right.
I had to get that on my chest.
You must have got a good lawyer.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, so the bench in Latin means bank. And
Right.
he's just there. He don't care who wins. He's going to get paid. The bailiff, bail you out, water bail,
Correct.
is going to get paid. The lawyers is going to get paid. So they call it the straw man. So you're born with your Social Security number. That's why all your mail come in capital letters, you know. And when you write your name, you taught to write your name capital and then lowercase
Correct,
everything
correct.
else. All your business stuff comes in all caps, which is the captain of the boat, capitals.
That's
So
deep, bro.
it's deeper than that.
Right.
So this is just the surface. I'm
Right.
trying to just spill
Yeah.
out a little bit
Right.
of what I know, but you know, and it's a court. It's like a game, you know.
Yeah.
It's the ball is in your court, right? And it's just the lawyers going back and forth until somebody wins, right?
And what I've come to know too is like a lot of people don't know that your actual person and your straw man, your representative, is not the same thing. So when you're in court, you basically are giving them jurisdiction over your person.
Correct.
Through the use of your representation, your
Right.
representative. So you kind of give them the ability to hold court over you, like the actual real physical person is
Right.
different from Doug on paper. You know what I mean?
The
Yeah.
Social Security number.
Right.
It's two different people.
But ain't no way you can, get out of that, or
I don't know, I'm not
No, yeah.
100%
Yeah.
sharp on if you know your what is it? What do they call it? Sovereign law.
Yeah.
Then yeah, it's a way to get out of it. Same way like a speed. You should never have to go to court. Like a speeding
Never.
ticket is like is a business deal.
Okay.
He said, "Hey, I think you was going over the speed limit, and I'm gonna sign this ticket, which is somebody's got to pay it." So
Correct.
he signs it first. Then he say, "You sign it."
Yeah.
Now you can say, "I'm not signing that."
Or
right?
you can sign it wrong.
Whichever one, yeah, right? Yeah, you
Now
can
that might
sign
get
it
the
wrong.
dough kicked in.
Right. You can not sign it
Yeah.
wrong or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you show up to court, that's you representing. You're saying that you're that person that he said.
Mm-hmm.
So you're representing for that person. So when you go to court, there's a gate there, a little gate. I don't know if you've been to court.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna assume.
No, it's like some black.
Aaron's been to court plenty of times, right? So that little gate you push open and go through, that's the water gate.
Right.
So that's the floodgate. So once you go in, you're in water.
Right.
So you can either sink or drown when you're in there. You know what I mean? So once you pass through that
Ooh,
gate,
that's why the
courtroom look like a boat, like a ship. Like it got its flags, it got the gates and everything. So everything is based off of the water. Is now law of the land.
That's kind of hard to debate against, bro. That actually make a lot of sense.
And it makes sense too. Like you don't like a lot of laws are set up to they're kind of bullshit when you agree to be governed by that law. So
Right.
if you go to court and like let's say murder, right? Murder has an offending party.
Correct.
They have a person that will be there. There's an actual victim. A speeding ticket, there's no actual victim in a speeding ticket.
Right.
You're not governed by that rule. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no one coming and saying that, man, you hurt me from your speeding. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So you really those laws really don't pertain to you in sovereign law. Those laws don't pertain to you because like they're part of like there's no offending party.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's actually no representation from the other side. The state can't be an offending party. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right.
that makes sense because those fuckers are quiet too.
Right.
They try to make sure they don't make no say. You do all the talking. You talk yourself right off the boat.
Exactly. Well, when you go in there and you sign the paperwork, you're agreeing to say that you are part of that system.
Correct.
Right. And like you said, maritime law and regular law, like I said, it has to have an offending party, but you also have to agree. Like the judge has no jurisdiction over you for real.
Correct.
Right. Until you give it to them.
Yeah.
And you do that all the time, and people do it unknowingly. But that's to start off. That's a hell of a one. If people start looking more into that, that's something that's pretty crazy.
So, damn, man. So for the people who don't know, you know what I mean? Like, how do you look into stuff like that? You know what I mean? And start representing yourself a little more.
That I can't even tell you the exact books or way, but there's
there
black law books.
Right.
It's literally the black law book.
Okay.
You can find that and everything in there will tell you. Same thing. I mean, I don't know how much we're gonna, being black,
Bro,
that's not a
right
nationality. You know what I mean? White is not a nationality.
Oh, I get that.
So if you represent yourself as black, which is dead, basically, like we don't have to see you as an actual person.
Correct.
So if we don't find our own identity and represent through an actual nationality, we're going to continue to get treated the way we get treated in the streets and in court. It don't matter where you at. They don't have to see you as an actual person. So
that's crazy.
once you start looking into that stuff, it'll open. Everybody's not going to fall in play, right? It's hard to even talk about this stuff in public. Like, man, he tripping.
Because, I mean, people, they look at things as being woke, and it's not, I don't like that term, being woke, bro. It's just educated. Some things that you want to look into, all it takes is time. All it takes is a little resources. All it takes is a little research.
Yeah.
But niggas want to reset and go home. And it's like, bro, you don't have to live that way. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you do have these things that you can come into and educate yourself.
Yeah.
So it's like, I heard that term though, that black is not really, and it's crazy that when you go to like application and you go to all these other forms and things like that, it's on there.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a lot of people who aren't really black or African American. You know what I mean? Like, why is that the only thing that describes your skin color on an application or any type of forms?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they wanna put us all in one box.
Oh.
So if you got one drop of black in you, you're supposed to be black, right? So everybody would be marking black.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or African or whatever the case may be. But
okay.
Yeah, it's pretty deep.
I like the way we start off. That's a good one. Right
that was a good one, bro.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought, I thought that'd be number one. I don't even know how. You're not even gonna number it.
It might be because
because that was dope, bro. And I feel like you started off with that, bro. He got some other good shit in there.
Nah, when I started looking into that, the maritime law, it just intrigued me. Like how you like, damn, I didn't even think about that. I didn't think about that. By the fifth or sixth, I didn't think about that. I was like, hold on, let me start writing this stuff down. Let me go look up some books. Let me verify that, let me get this from more than one source.
Right.
You know what I mean? I really look into it and get my research done. So if I do say something, it's coming from some reliable sources. You know
Now,
what I mean?
when you look into stuff like that, you know what I mean, it does open your eyes up to certain things and certain aspects. Do it change your demeanor or change the way you look at shit?
Yeah.
Because I can, brother, just to be ignorant for a second, you can go and watch a movie, like the movie we seen with, the Black Panther that got shot, bro.
Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yeah, bro, and you go in there and it was so divided by the end of that movie. The white people left out first before the movie even ended. And I was like, wow, damn. Why it seemed like y'all running out of here, bro. Y'all good? like it was a movie.
Yeah,
like I know it's based on a true story, but it have you looking at things different.
It's definitely affects every nationality.
Right.
So not them, but when some white people see things, they're sometimes embarrassed. They're
guilty.
They're guilty. Some of them are angry that, oh, you're showing this, and this is a new movie showing my kids that this is how white people are, but this is just the reality of things, and we can't hide facts.
They came across something like that where they said, a child or a parent try to remove a child from a situation, saying that, they was being exposed to certain things. Right. And you got to learn how to differentiate expose from the truth. Mm-hmm. Exposing is not the truth, bro. Right. When you expose somebody to you show somebody the truth of how things really are, dude, that's facts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You can't put a negative notion on it, like we're trying to turn your kid bad and expose them to things that, just because you believe in things that go on in your house now. I don't mean to disrespect you.
Right.
But at the same time, it's a reality. It's a world outside your house, bro, that happened.
At the same time, I believe it's the same way with movies. This is for a mature audience. When the kids are mature enough to understand that, because at a little age, you could tell little black kids all this bad stuff.
Right.
And by the time they are mature, they don't like white people.
Correct.
Because they did some terrible shit to us.
Right.
And if they know it and see it and see it and see it, when they get older, they're gonna be like, nah, I don't fool with them.
But that's so true.
Yeah.
It's movies that you ain't seen, bro. like good example, man. Damn, what's that movie called, bro? Like
Birth of a Nation and even Judas and the Black Messiah will make you upset.
Oh, fam.
Malcolm X will make you upset.
But even I was going to the people under the stairs. You went serious, bro. I went to the people under the stairs. It's simple. It's simple shit that you look at and you see racist, innuendos in the movies.
Right.
Like when police come up to your door. And and black people are looking for certain things, rent and this and that. They need the police help, and they don't help you, bro.
Yeah.
And things like that. As a kid, you like, oh, that's funny. Watch them getting killed or whatever. But then when you grow, like, that's some bullshit.
Right.
100%. Yeah.
So that's crazy, man. And I like how they do movies. Mm. But I did hear one about movies is that now this might get us. The Pentagon apparently oversees a lot of movies.
Yeah, almost all of them. Anything to do with war, or anything like that.
They have a budget.
That you liars? What y'all over here covering up? I didn't know.
No,
that
they
the
just
Pentagon,
don't want certain things said.
Yeah,
and anything that puts them in a certain light, they don't want this said.
Like I'm thinking things go through Hollywood and things like that, and they like, no, the Pentagon is in that too, dude. Like, there are a lot of movies that go Transformers and things like that. If you want to use certain
things in movies,
you
have to
go
get their approval, right?
That's crazy,
and that's an
old trick,
right?
I mean, even people with money. So, like back in the day, 20% of wedding rings had a diamond in it.
Correct.
The diamond companies who hoarded all the diamonds in one warehouse, only put out a few at a time, went to the movies and said, here goes some bread. Make sure it's an engagement scene in there where he gets on one knee and it's a diamond in it. After people started doing that, 80% of wedding rings had diamonds in it, and 20%. It flipped.
The Bears.
80-20. So, same thing with cigarettes. Hey, when he kicking his ass, make sure he smoke a cigarette and put it out on him. They make it look cool.
Make it look cool.
People like smoking cigarettes. So if you got money, you could pretty much manipulate the minds of anybody you want. So at the same, like I said, back to the whole racist type of movies, and if you're mature enough to take it in and understand this actually happened, but this is where we at now, don't just teach them one side of it. It'll be more fair, in my opinion. You know, how far we've come today. Now, everybody, we can look at cops and say, oh, look what they did to Rodney King, and show that to the kids, and they don't like police ever. You know what I mean? But if you meet a cop that's retired, you're like, hey, this is what I did. You know, I cut 2 of them right now. You know what I mean? I say I never met a good cop, but I met 2.
Right.
You know, out of the whole world. But you know, we just got to be safe about how we portray that information. The same way they're reckless with it and how they put us on the news and make us look like thugs and say, oh, they drug dealers and this, that, the other. When they destroying the entire world, and when it's tough to talk about because you know I got love for white people. You know what I mean? But at the same, and those that got love for me. But they got to know that they're in charge, right? And they're polluting the air. They doing chemtrails. They destroying Africa, taking all the resources from over there, poisoning the food. How can you poison your own people?
Like all of the shit, everything that we rely on,
the medical
has been
field
touched by in some negative way by them.
And I feel like it's not, you know, like you said, you know, racial, because like I said, you know, of course I got some cool people outside of, you know,
and let's differentiate that.
Please.
You know what I mean? Well, what we talking about is the people that are in power. You know what I mean? And anybody that kind of perpetuates that cycle. You know what I mean? There's I have good clients and good people that I know, perfectly fine people that don't contribute to a racist attitude.
I got some man. My boy Nick is dope from work. Hey, Nick.
Now the people that are in power, the people that actually have the movements, the way they get out. That's where we gotta look too. We gotta be more mindful of. I
was going to the media, bro.
Right.
I was just talking about
the
this,
same thing.
Like, you know, especially with my partner, man. I do not, and I know they're gonna keep doing it because I don't know what kind of move this is. But you ever look at the backstories of people getting drafted and the stories they tell about people? It's always that the black person or the person of color always coming from a troubled home. They came from a hood and this and that. You know, it's always a negative innuendo or negative notion.
My thing be that why do that shit when this nigga's celebrating his happiest moment of being drafted? You're gonna bring up
all the sad moments.
Oh, but he hit the girl. Why would you do that now?
They dig.
Right.
They do that.
Instead of putting you in a good light. But they don't do that. They only do that to us. You know.
Correct.
So
but then
it's a weird thing that I see a lot of times in sports and all that stuff.
As soon as, you know, another person get drafted, you know, well-known father, and you know, the parents are this and that, and I'm like, oh, but you just uplifted this brother. But where is the
media is terrible?
Like, why? That breaks my heart every time I hear it, dude. Yeah. And then they do like this whole background check on this dude. Found out he didn't hit somebody in 3rd grade or something like that. And now he, you know, this and he that, just dropped his whole draft. And it's like, you know what, man? Why y'all?
There's a kid going through that shit right now.
Dude.
A youngin that was drafted, and he did a documentary on Netflix.
Right.
And he was 17. Of course, he's not going to be stoic and all this shit when he's 17. And there are some kids that are, but that shit was being held.
Yeah.
He went 3 years in college, and now he's being looked at with that same old tape. Right.
But so that's all we ask for our friendly white people to recognize and speak out against. It shouldn't just keep coming from us. It should be a podcast of them saying, hey, I recognize this.
I see this
and
shit.
Now I see that you're an ally, and now we can work together versus just saying, let them find their next messiah and leave them alone. It don't have to be it can be a group of us that come together and say things not right. So like y'all talking about sports, same thing, Trayvon Martin. He get killed, and they say he had traces of weed or whatever in him, right? But then a white chick, not too long ago, was smoking and stabbed her boyfriend 100 and something times.
Wow.
And got off on probation because a hallucination of weed.
She said they
do that.
Was weed manic.
They do that.
Like that.
So when you see when it's put there side by side, when is the media gonna be like, you know what? I
got a great one for you, man. I ain't gonna say names because we really might get canceled, but it's a renowned comedian can sit there and say something slightly ignorant on social media. You dig back 10 years and take away his platform to do something now.
Right.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, you got somebody running for a powerful platform,
Right.
on trial, and you still get voted for like that.
Yeah.
It's now let a brother do that.
See, that's
Because the
that's
brother who did that before, they was trying to get rid of him because he wasn't where he from, or they say he wasn't from where he was say he
Barack
from.
was
You know, hey man,
exactly.
I don't care. Barack was the cleanest nigga in the world.
but and they try to get on my man because he's not from
find
Hawaii.
Nothing on Barack. They had to make up something on him.
That's crazy,
But-
man.
And
You can't tell me privilege ain't real.
Oh, yeah. See, we know it. We just
Yeah.
want them to recognize it and not be offended when we say it exists, and then let's do something about
Correct.
right.
it. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So-
And it's not. Again, it's not to sit here and say that we got a propaganda or agenda or anything like that, man. It's just the fact that some shit ain't fair. You got to be like, hey, that wasn't cool,
Right.
because the media they destroying us out here.
So
Yeah.
right now we've hit on with the whole court system, the way that's set up, and we've also hit on like kind of the media's betrayal too. What's another
Yeah, because they make it short. Because
so
my
say
man got to get up out of here.
conspiracy.
No.
what's another conspiracy?
Yeah,
or
what's
thing that
another one,
we
man?
should be looking out for?
Conspiracy to look out for.
That's we can't say conspiracy, bro. You
Got
only
to.
said it because it's your brother-in-law.
I mean, like I said, there's a reality of
Right.
things, you know what I mean?
right.
I mean, to look out for, other than,
I'm gonna say.
I mean,
I'm gonna say what I know that I seen him hit on. The Bill Gates. Watch out for Bill Gates.
oh,
Right.
really? I wasn't gonna bring him up.
Wait, what?
Watch out for Bill Gates. Bill Gates doing some nefarious shit right now. Some weird ass shit right now.
Okay.
Right.
Like you can't say nothing like that and then not elaborate, bro. That's like what?
He bought up a lot of farmland.
Okay.
Quite a bit of farmland in America, and he's making modified fruit. But some of the things that he said in the past about population control and keeping the number down is crazy. And then
Right.
for him to buy something that everybody touches, it's kind of alarming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like when you look at, like, he has an apple out right now
I heard about
called
that.
Apple, right? It's not
Yeah.
Apple, it's Apple.
And it got
Right.
some chemicals in it,
Right.
bro.
Well, I don't know what it has in it. We're gonna say allegedly.
Allegedly.
Right. We can't just
Because I ain't been on
accuse you.
apples.
Right. Now I don't know what's in it, but and it's just odd that you will talk about that and then you will buy all the shit up and
Right.
you know what I mean. So you gotta just keep an eye on dude.
Okay.
Yeah, he owns more farmland than anyone in America at this point. And
It's only a
he's
time will
pushing-
tell, bro. I feel like world control is really just
Yeah,
is at an all-time high.
yeah.
Because I got one, man. They and people still can't tell me about those damn COVID shots. You know what I mean? like,
See, that's
bro.
one thing. That's my honestly, that's my number one.
People really can't tell me because that's been on my mind, dude, for a long time. You know, you got people passing away at alarming rates. You know,
Are you talking about taking it or not taking it?
who's taking it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People are dying, and you know, people are getting sick, and even childbirthing is getting hard and things like that. So it's like, you know, the question was, can anybody tell us or tell anybody the side effects about this shit 10 years down the road? Didn't nobody say nothing.
We're gonna see it.
And then all of a sudden, it was mandatory. I had to take it, you know, and I only took 2. But at the same time, they told me I couldn't see the birth of my daughter until, or be allowed in the hospital, allowed anywhere until you have this card.
Right.
But then all of a sudden, now all of a sudden you have COVID. Take your ass to work.
Mm-hmm.
So about 4 years ago,
Right.
what's the differences between this and 4 years ago, where now it's not important no more?
Yeah.
So we had to stay home, get stimulus checks and everything else. Sorry, y'all sick. Hey, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like, you know, what y'all out here doing, man? It's like, you know, that didn't work. Now we out here every year. I feel like it's something.
Right.
Every year is something. Watch, next year's gonna be something about donkeys. I promise you, dude. They're gonna kill you some type
Monkey
of way.
food.
They working on the bird flu one now. So
Oh, they gonna
look
more,
out for that one.
Yeah,
That's the
the
next one.
pigeons. I feel like we already went through birds.
Well, they said I can't. We're gonna stop. But like I just had a conversation. This is another reason why I started that page, because they was threatening to cancel my original page, right? And that's the page I really just use for my family stuff, post
Right,
my kids,
right.
stuff like that. So I just started another page. They cancel it, it's gonna get canceled.
Right.
But I would post about I had my concerns about the COVID
Yeah,
shots and
yeah.
everything like that, and they would just send me note, hey, you've been flagged. It's a warning. I'll let it go.
Now,
And
was it them or was it like because some people would do spam and start trolling and shit.
Nah, it was them.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, because you could send a letter back saying,
Right.
hey, I don't think this is inappropriate if I'm talking about this. I didn't
Okay.
say nothing. You know what I mean?
And it's crazy how your own mind. Then don't we have like amendments or amendments out here? You know what I mean? Your rights to free thought and free thinking speech.
No,
But then if you
to a
say
degree.
anything,
To a degree, right.
say anything on the internet about
Right.
oh yeah, you can't post that.
People are like media has changed so drastically now that they're scared of it. Social media is a right before it was kind of just major a couple of major news groups.
Right.
Now their social media has come on and you got people that become popular and people start listening to them people and it takes away their power away from being able to
Influencers
manipulate
is
people.
dangerous right now, man.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like
That's the police.
You can easily manipulate somebody through the media. Like I said, with a narrative on how I view you in the
Right,
news. How many stories I show about people carjacking that look like you,
Right,
or how
right.
many, or calling someone that looks Arab or Indian a terrorist, or calling any. There's a bunch of different ways you can control people through the media. But now social media is out, and people become popular, and you can't necessarily bar them people as
Boy,
well as you used to.
They regret that, dude.
Right.
They regret that one.
Right.
And like you said, like about freedom of speech, like this is the facade they give you.
Yeah.
They want you to think freedom and liberty are the same things. That's
Right.
why we have a Statue of Liberty, and this is why she's at the harbor herself, in front of the water.
Right.
It's you have liberty to say what you want. Like that's what the Navy men get when they get off the ship. Yeah, you're at liberty to go have drinks,
Yeah.
freak them, and then get back on the ship. But you're not free to go.
Right.
So this is the world we
And
live in.
I get that.
We don't have a
Yeah,
statue of freedom. We
yeah.
have a statue of liberty. And like when you drive your car, like that's not that's a privilege. They
Right.
tell you. You know what I mean? So we have been always controlled. They're locking in even more now, especially with the wars and all this stuff going on.
They afraid of what they can't control, man. So everybody, that's the thing nowadays too, man. I feel like it's stressful. That's
It
why I feel like
is.
everybody who go for office, dude, they look completely old and soulless.
Oh, yeah.
in
When they
4
start-
years. It's
yeah.
like, bro. And the funny thing is, I look at him like a football coach sometimes. Like, you really ain't in control of this, brother. Like, it's
Yeah.
somebody above you pushing plays, and pushing this and pushing that. You know what I mean? But you just a face of blame right now.
Yeah, and you pretty much, I feel like you gotta sell your soul to an extent. You're dropping these bombs on these innocent people
Right.
over
There's
in
no
other
clean
countries.
there's no clean presidents, not one.
Not one.
There's no. You have to kill to be in that office. That's just a part of the job.
Yeah.
You have to kill somebody to get in that job. To
Is that a fly in here?
to be in that job, to stay in that job, you have to kill. And that's the thing. I was talking to somebody at the shop the other day. We had a good little back and forth. Shout out Chill. We were in there and he was saying that I was saying that I don't think there's any good politicians.
Right.
You might
right.
get into politics knowing or having
I feel like they all full of shit, man.
good expectation or good
Yeah.
what's the word like I want to do good when I get in,
Right.
but the to stay in politics,
You
to
gotta
be
lie
there,
about something.
right? You gotta lie. You gotta be deceitful. You
Tell
gotta,
that to them people who
you gotta
thought
pass
they
on shit that was good. You gotta do all kind of shit to stay in office.
like lie and say, hey, we gonna get rid of y'all college debt.
Right.
It's a lot of
Just
students
sink
out
it
there, bro.
Right.
You might have
Do
best
all
of
that.
intentions when you
Right.
first start, but to
No,
stay
they
a
lie.
politician,
Right.
I
They
know.
wasn't gonna do that to begin with.
No, I know, but I'm
Right.
But
but
they used that to get in office.
right. But like say if somebody get into local government, they might have the best intentions on
Oh, yeah.
starting.
Same
You know what
with a new police officer.
Right.
You go in there with all the right intentions. If you say, "Hey, this happened on one of the stops," now you're a target. You got a target on your back. You're not you're not blue. You know what I mean? So
I feel like eventually, don't you still gotta get? I mean, I'm not gonna say corrupt, but don't you get kind of like molded to the shit that's going on around you? Kind of like if you get a new job, you come in there, like, oh, this is gonna be great, and then all of a sudden you start hearing all the coworkers complaining and all that shit going on in your ear. Now you're like, man, fuck this job, man. I don't even care no more.
Right.
it's in a sense it's called being jaded. Like
Right.
like of course you start off something like, oh yeah, like like this. I'm going to change the world with this. And then you see the reality of it. And
you can't do nothing about it, bro.
But you can. But the thing is, you might have to pay for it another way. You know what I mean? There are some people that held firm or stayed moral, and they get kicked out. You know what I mean? That's just the gist of it. If you want to do a moral and just job and be fair and all this stuff, you might not last long. You know what I mean? Because the system is not moral or fair or anything like that. So if you want to try to affect the system from that point of view, it's kind of tough.
And I feel like don't nobody, I mean, it's as many movies as you see, the hero never goes over.
Right.
So it's like, anybody who really trying to go into things with good intentions and shit like that, I feel like it's always somebody going to try to corrupt you and get you up out of there.
Yeah.
Because it's always,
and if not, they kill you.
Right. If they can't get you out, right.
So it goes from Malcolm X. If you look at anybody of any race that has ever said, hey, let's come together and unite,
people,
they have all been assassinated.
Oh, they can't have unity, bro.
Not one person. It don't matter what race you are, nothing.
Right.
So once it gets to that level, it looked like they just assassinating all the black messiahs. But the white ones, the Mexicans, the anybody that come in and say, hey, we're going to come together and unite, it's over.
Right.
So that's what's depressing about it. You know what I mean? So when you're watching all these movies,
that
all this
stuff,
stuff,
bro.
is facts.
Yes, that's
that Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yeah,
thing, they
shit.
had that program in the FBI that was made to take down the FBI and the CIA was made to take down any black leader that rose up, and in any way. You could see what they did. Malcolm, Martin, the Black Panthers, all of them, they had to go because they were inciting togetherness. You know what I mean?
And J. Edgar Hoover said, if the black community ever have another black messiah, we'll make them. So if you see somebody out there that's supposedly being for us, I'm not going to say no names.
LeBron? No, just...
We can't even start on him. But yeah, it's tough. Like you say, when I went down that rabbit hole, is it gets you in a depressing state.
Yeah.
You like, man, I want to, I'm doing this. I started.
But I feel like it robbed your joy a little bit when you start thinking about that.
How do you function in this world? Like, I'm trying to be an entrepreneur. I'm trying to make money and do this. But I'm trying to help my community at the same time. I'm trying to bring people together. And then when you're reading this stuff and you see how they do a Nipsey or a Tupac or, and you see...
Be your own home, bro. First of all, you know what I mean? I said, first of all, be your own home.
Well, it's made to look like that.
Yeah.
It's made to look like that because, of course, that the whole narrative with us is, they shoot each other all the time.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
If I get you to do it and you are not with us and you just look like us, of course it's going to look like, it's just one of them days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. And if you don't know history, it's going to continue to repeat itself because Huey P. Newton was killed the same way Nipsey was by a black man, and supposedly Huey P. was trying to rob, was shot 5 times. They will hire. I mean, that's on us too. You know what I mean? Like, our people will turn on you for $1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or
not to
a
go
threat.
to jail.
It could not to go to jail, not to have their family harmed. You know what I mean? So we're in a tight spot. We gotta unite and start small and keep our circle tight and progress from there. But trying to join something that's already blood in it, meaning
it's okay, man.
Any organization that has a bad reputation,
right.
Nothing's good gonna come of that because it stands on those same principles forever, including America. So that's why all these other countries hate America. They don't hate us per se,
right.
But we are guilty by association because we have the privilege of being able to sit here and talk like this and feel safe because of the bullies, because of what they're doing to these other countries.
Until they get a notion of what you're doing and they want to put their whole foot in it.
Oh, yeah. They're going to come in and tax you. They're going to come in and especially if you're not speaking what they want.
Did with weed. But I mean, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So all of that. So we see it.
I can't stop thinking about that one, bro. Like,
and it's terrible. And it's terrible that all of them.
Crazy.
They're not even out of prison yet.
It's people in prison did that, you know, and they put such a negative notion on it and things like that. Don't do drugs. I mean, do whatever you want to. Anyway, but at the same time, about a few years ago, you know what I mean, it was such a crime and this and that. Then all of a sudden you catch a fight, and guess what's sponsoring this fight?
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, I know this ain't no weed program
Right.
sponsoring this major fight right now,
Right.
and all of a sudden now
it's in video games now. It's
bro,
everywhere now.
it's sparking up. They taking they cut and everything else. I'm like, oh, so
That's what it's about, though.
the
It's not about the people and their well being. It's about the money. You know what I mean? If they can't have a cut of the money,
oh, that's a problem.
then fuck you. You
And
not
then
gonna
I
do
looked at. I always used to say this too, bro. Like it's funny to me how you can have, you know, let's just say you got a backyard. You know, you're doing your thing. You let's say you digging. All of a sudden, you find some weed or some drugs in the back. Oh, that's your shit. Oh, we about to take you to jail. But let you strike oil or gold. Oh, we need you up out of here.
That's ours.
We need you up out of here. That's ours.
Right.
and it's crazy how that simple, you know, that shit is wrong, bro.
So like just to piggyback off that, I hate that term, but just to jump on that, like Gaddafi in Libya, if any oil found on that land belonged to the citizens
Right.
of the land.
Right.
He paid, if you know, like how you talking about America, just take. He was about, hey, if y'all help repopulate, I'm gonna give you some money. You want to buy a house? I'm gonna put $50,000 on
Correct.
it. Gas is always gonna be $1. You know, he was the only nation that was debt free from anybody,
Crazy.
and he wanted to start his own coin
Yeah.
or his own financial system, along with Saddam, and you see where those two guys are. You know, so. And now it's a new coin or a new currency called BRICS. It's an organization that they're trying to come together, which is Russia, China. They're trying to come together and start a currency and X out the dollar,
Right.
which is causing all this friction. Like, hey,
Right.
we'll knock you
Problems.
down, and we got all the bullies in place. So before they just let
Right.
they might let it slip a little bit because they don't mind if we go, you know, if the middle class go down a little bit further.
Right,
The rich will
right.
never come down.
Right.
So this is the whole plan of houses cost $2 million now. So forget about owning one and that kind of thing. So they'll own it all.
I
You won't
got
own anything.
I got like a little animated mind sometimes, dude, when I think about shit like that. And you know, I've been spending some time in Livermore a little bit, and you seen the Hunger Games. You know how they have these certain districts and things like that, bro. You notice it's no middle class. It's only high class and the poor.
Right.
And that's what
And
they want.
everything
Right.
is the every attack or everything that's going, you know, bad for people. It's always the middle class that get hit 1st, and it's like we trying to separate y'all. We
The
don't.
middle class has the most potential to become upper class.
Yeah.
So they don't want that. They
It's-
want to be the
again,
top spot. They don't want no one else up there.
That shit ain't fair, bro. It's like when you
It's
think of shit like that, I'm like,
very
if
depressing.
if you going forward into the future, bro, I feel like it's gonna be that way. You know what I mean? That you rich, you're poor.
Right.
We don't need nobody in the middle trying to come up here and get nothing. We need a clear wall here to make sure that you stay on your side and we stay on our side. You know what I mean? That division is so important to people.
It's good that a lot of people take movies for granted. Like, oh, it's just a movie.
I look at
They
shit.
have to tell the
Yeah.
truth in these movies in order to
I
clear
feel like
their
that's why
karma.
they
Right.
create them.
They hide shit in plain
the
sight.
hide shit in plain sight. And I'm one of those people who look at it. You know, people always like, oh, you watch movies. Bro, I feel like they're not just creating these movies just to fucking create them. Like, they trying to
come
tell you
from
something.
Right.
Especially now you see that the Pentagon is involved with the majority
Bro,
of them. Right.
I don't know.
They got 7 pages of movies that
Hey,
they've been a
you
part
think
of.
Hollywood is major, you know, people out there know
Right.
that. And I found out that they're not the major people out there. It's actually the Pentagon that's running that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that term, you know, I'm big on words or whatever, but back in the day, they used to be scared of witches and stuff like that. And they used to cast spells with a stick.
Yeah.
And that stick came from a holly tree.
Mm.
So it's made of wood. So that's where the term Hollywood came from, of these
Control.
witches controlling and
So they got
casting
rid of
spells.
You might get some fans over that one.
It's wild. Hey, when you start looking at these words and start looking it up and researching, you can't
Right.
stop. You
All
know what I
right.
mean? So
So to get my man up out of here, we got just a couple more minutes, man.
yeah,
Give us your mind buster.
I think we already went on the maritime thing. I mean,
No.
It's
You-
what?
No, he finna go on one. I know he.
What one?
No, I'm like
Yeah.
the religion. He go.
Yeah, we
He
ain't
go,
got enough time
Cool.
for that.
No, you
Okay.
don't.
We ain't got
Okay.
enough time.
All right,
I'm
so-
not religious.
So normally we do, motivation or something like that to hit us up out of here, man. So you got something positive for people to go on, at least, and not to stay woke, but at least look out for themselves.
Yeah, definitely both. Stay woke, look out for yourself, pay attention to the signs. Don't be naive. Like I said, I have conversations with just talking about COVID, and a lot of people like, man, I lost my grandfather to COVID. How you dare you say the shot is not? I'm like, well, I want to be as polite as possible. I'm sorry for your loss, but at the same time, I know people literally lost a father from taking the shot.
Right.
I know somebody who's still having complications from the shot.
Right.
So we got to have an equal mutual respect for each other. So it's no different than the transgender and heterosexual talk. Like, you could be proud, I'm proud to be a heterosexual male.
Right.
So if I speak proudly and you speak proudly, that's fine. But don't say that I'm
bash
homophobic.
it.
You know what I mean? I'm not bashing you.
My bad to cut you off, but it's a trip how polarizing shit has become. Like, if you're a Democrat and I'm a Republican, I have to hate you.
But
Yeah.
that's been from the get go. That's
Right.
why we got the Bloods and the Crips. That's why we Raider fans and 89ers.
Right.
It's always got boys
always
against the girls.
yeah.
It's the light skins against the dark
don't
skins.
want unity,
It's
man.
constant. Yeah, it's
Right.
no unity can be had.
Right.
Once you crush all of that,
Now they
take
going
away
for
religion,
relationships.
take away race,
Right.
take away all of that,
Yeah.
and that's where you'll start at. Start from scratch and don't have nothing, and I guarantee you we can come out and make
And
something happen.
don't ever get offended by somebody that has a different opinion of you
Ooh.
about
Speak
a
on that,
situation
brother.
or something. If they have a different opinion, respect it. And not only that, I like to ask people, how did you come up with that? Where did it come from? Like, well, tell me more about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if I I elaborate. You know what I mean? I'm not. If you believe in this and I don't, then I want to know what made you do that.
Yeah, I'll sit across from a race. I want to be friends with a racist.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to know what's in your mind and why you think that way,
Yeah.
so we can get to the point where you can understand it's not what you think it is.
Everybody is human.
Or if it
beings,
is.
man.
Right.
Everybody has different opinions,
Right.
and this world don't really go far from each other without us having different opinions, man. We learn from each other. So of course I can sit down here, talking to you, and you have a different aspect, and things like that. That don't make them enemies.
Right.
Mhm.
Just because somebody be like, oh yeah, I'm a 49er fan, all depend on what he say. All depend on what that sucker say. We might have, but at the same time, man, we don't have to sit here and be enemies from anybody, man. I feel like everybody's gonna have a different opinion of something. That's how this world grows.
Right.
That's growth. Period. Growth is uncomfortable. I say it all the time. You know what I mean? So if you sit there and you can learn from somebody. Don't get your ego and pride in a fucking bunch and you be like, oh no, the sky's purple. I hate people who
Right.
do that, bro. Because
They
it's like,
literally used to kill over
Yeah.
information that differ from the system.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So like you right now as a society, we have the benefit of not having to go through that, but we go through a not a physical death as like before. You go through a social one now. If you have a belief that's different from everybody else,
Right.
you go through a social death, and we're doing it to each other. Like you can be gay, I can be straight. We can talk. You know what I mean? I don't have to hate what you do, and you don't have to hate what I do.
correct.
Like, it doesn't have to be like that. That's a system thing that they want us to be with.
But back to the mature audience, I don't want you teaching none of that to my kids.
Exactly.
Correct.
This is
There's a
let them
time
be
for that
kids.
stuff, right.
When they mature and they get of age that they can understand it and comprehend it, then we can sit down and discuss
But
what
that's a
curriculum
whole-
that's going to be.
That's a
But
whole
not
different conversation too.
ABC starting
Yeah.
talking about. No, you got to let them
'Cause
mature and be themselves.
Some people teaching their kids some shit that don't need to be outside anyway.
Right.
So that's
Yeah.
a whole nother conversation,
Yeah,
bro.
We're in a cold world
Man,
right
we
now.
is, man. But
Yeah.
we ask y'all, please, man. First, we gotta get my man Twatty here, but we appreciate y'all, vibing and just listening to, our session, man. There's some shit to learn, dude. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, because now I want to go home and read something. You know what I mean?
And you will. Everybody will. Everybody in some sense will learn something new from any. That's what our conversation.
Yeah.
When me and him talk is normally about some stuff that's going on in the world that we see, or
Correct.
some slick shit that we see that people are doing or something like that. And it's on some like, what can we do to
be better.
Right,
And that's what it's about too, dude.
We have the ability to have young men sit in front of us where we can talk one-on-one too. You know what I mean? And that's one of the beauties of being a barber for me. That's one of the reasons why I love it so much. I have a different audience every 30 minutes for me. You know what I mean? And you can affect lives that way. I've talked people off of roofs. I've talked them into doing stuff. I talked them into being better people, and that's my goal.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So please, man, we ask y'all go out and just love on somebody, man. Don't affect your community, change your life. Let's stop being a little, I mean, I know it's hard to say let's stop, right? Because there's a lot of shit out there you can't control.
Yeah.
But live your life and love somebody, man. And Thomas, man, we love you, bro.
Thomas, love you, bro.
We love you, man. Anything you need from us, brother, we got you, bro. Like I said,
condolences out to the Robinson family too. They lost somebody, and it's tough to see, and it's terrible. But my condolences to the Robinson family.
And Pops, get better. We love you too, man.
Really.
We here for y'all. So we love y'all, man. Thank you for tapping in. Like, subscribe, do all that. We holla at y'all later.